Life happens to all of us, doesn't it? Life brings with it challenges, surprises, and sometimes it brings us the toughest of times. But here's what sets one person apart from another, one success from another failure. It's not what happens, but how you respond. I've been asked many times, Jim, what's the secret to success? What's the formula? And I always say the same thing. It's not some big secret. It's not magic. It's about learning how to control your responses. You can't control the weather, but you can control how you set your sail. You can't control the economy, but you can control how you think about it. You can't control other people's attitudes or behaviors, but you can control how you respond to them. Now, when I say that, some people get excited, and some people get frustrated. They say, Jim, that's too simple. But here's what I've learned. Simplicity is often the key. But don't mistake simple for easy. Simple doesn't mean it doesn't require effort. Simple doesn't mean it doesn't require discipline. Years ago, I met a young man who was struggling. He came up to me after a seminar and said, Jim, I'm going through a really tough time. My job is demanding. My family life is chaotic, and I just don't see a way out. I feel stuck. So I asked him, how long have you felt this way? He thought for a moment and said, oh, a couple of years. I said, what have you been doing about it? He looked at me, puzzled, and said, what do you mean? It's not my fault. My boss is unreasonable. My family doesn't understand me. The economy is down. And I said, I understand all that, but what are you doing about it? You see, that's the trap most people fall into. They think that what happens to them determines their future. But here's the reality. What happens to you is just part of the equation. The other part, the most important part, is what you decide to do in response. If you let what happens to you dictate your attitude, your actions, and your outlook, then you've given away your power. You've handed control of your life to external forces. But if you take control of your responses, if you decide to be proactive, if you decide to respond with intention, with purpose, with clarity, then you've taken back your power. This is very important. You got to learn how to respond. How do you respond when things don't go your way? When you experience a setback, what do you do? Do you sit and complain, or do you get up and find another way? Do you let it break you, or do you use it as a stepping stone to something better? I'm telling you, every successful person I've ever met, without exception, has gone through challenges, difficulties, even failures. But what sets them apart is how they responded to those challenges. They didn't let the challenge define them. They let their response define them. And that's a big difference.
Alrighty. Good morning, everyone. Can you guys hear me loud and clear? Let me know in the chat box. I see a thumbs up. All right, amazing. So that means that everyone can hear me loud and clear and that you can see my screen. Let's jump straight into it. I deleted everything from yesterday. I wanted to start with clean charts and see what the market has to offer for today. There are two pairs I have to take a look at what it's gonna do because we were retesting at this moment. So we have Euro Canadian, that's the very first one. Yesterday we started with this resistance zone here, and then of course this support zone. All right, And like you can see, we have that beautiful breakout and then the retest coming back into these demand levels. All right, the market is reacting pretty good on it. So let's see where we can get with Euro Canadian. We are still around entry level. So for the people who are interested, this is a beautiful example of a price trap breaking and retesting right over here. Okay, we can also just use that support zone. So if the market doesn't move to the upside at this moment from this retest, we can still react with the breakout retest to the downside, but it's looking pretty good. All right, I'm talking about this demand level over here. This little black candle is really acting beautifully as a support zone to see the market coming back to the highs at least. All right, so this is a beautiful first target you could look at with a 1-on-3 risk to reward here on Euro Canadian. All right, so this is a beautiful live example, guys. Let's see where we can get with this one. You can choose yourself. You can wait for some price action to happen here, or you can wait for a deeper retest into the zone. All your own decision, of course. All right, so I'm gonna put a blue flag on that one. And the next one was gold, because I saw that gold was also retesting. Let me show you what I was looking for. So here we had this support zone. The market has broken through that support zone, and now we are getting back for that retest. Okay, we already had a beautiful breakout retest from last week. So here we were breaking these lows. All right, so let me just show you better. So I had my support zone last week right over here. We got the breakout over here, and then we have the retest over here. All right, beautifully in this supply level, moving to the downside. Okay, so now we are looking to just follow up on that movement and to have another breakout and retest to the downside. Okay, we are simply following what the market is showing us. Okay, just know that what we are looking at right now is still a counter trend idea. Okay, we are still at demand levels. This could perfectly act for a new support zone where the market will start rising and break new all-time highs. But it can also be this moment that the market will start retracing a little deeper into after this massive move to the upside. Okay, so let's see where we will get with gold. I'm gonna put a retest alert right over here. There we go. And then of course we have two different options here. We could say like this first blue candle will be our reaction point, or we can go a little higher here. But then you will have to go to the lower time frames. I think 15-minute time frame, something like that. Yeah, there we go. This last blue candle here could be a good reaction point. Okay, so let's see where we can get with this one. If we can get in between these two zones, we can find ourselves a good opportunity to see gold following up that breakout retest to the downside. Okay, so these are the two pairs that I just wanted to cover up first, because of the breakout retest and because of the market being so close to entries. Okay, now we can check the charts if we have some new price traps for today. All right, for the people who do not know what we are doing here, it's pretty simple. Like you can see here with gold, gold is a beautiful example. We simply follow up the highs and the lows. All right, if we know that the market moves with highs and lows, and that we can determine the direction of the market by simply watching the highs and lows. So if the market creates higher highs and higher lows, we know the market is moving up. And if the market creates lower lows and lower highs, the market moves down. We know that, all right, by simply following the highs and lows. So this is what the strategy is all about. We simply want to wait for the market to break previous highs and create higher lows to follow up uptrending markets, or to break lower lows and create lower highs to follow that downtrending movement. All right, and that's it. That's price trap. All right, I love simplicity. That's why I really like to use this strategy, because it's just focused on the basic market structure and really like, yeah, keeping it very, very simple. Okay, so good. If you have any questions around that, if you're like, yeah, I do understand the way you're looking at the charts, but I'm struggling at a certain point, let me know in the chat box. All right, these are the morning sessions. I'm giving these morning sessions exactly for this reason. All right, so if you have any questions, doesn't matter what it's all about, is if it's about journaling your own trades, if it's about the market structure, that you're struggling with something, is it maybe something you're looking for your risk management, you have some struggles with your risk rules or that kind of stuff, let me know. All right, and I'm here to help you as good as possible. So good, the very first one, 80 Canadian, looking good, very clean structure. Of course, we want to follow up that uptrending market. That's always number one. We prefer trending direction, okay? So we can find ourselves support and resistance zones, but as long as the market is following up that uptrending market, we prefer to react on the breakout retest to the upside, all right? If we do break to the downside, of course, I'm going to react on that, but I know I'm aware that I'm going against the trend, so that the risk is a little higher, okay? Very important one. So that's for 80 Canadian. 80 JPY, I also had this one yesterday. We didn't get a retest. We are already at my target levels. That's the reason why I just deleted it. And I'm not looking at this one anymore, okay? For 80 USD, like you can see, we have some very, very clean structure. We had this breakout retest to the downside. I wanted to see the market maybe give us that deeper retest. At this moment, it didn't happen, okay? So I'm just going to use that new resistance and that new support zone from yesterday. And again, okay, we need to know first, when you zoom out, where is the market going? That should be the very first question the moment you make your price traps. Where is the market going? Okay, and like you can see here on 80 USD, for example, we are going up. So we want to prefer the uptrending movement. So we prefer the breakout to the upside, okay, the breakout retest to the upside. Do we break to the downside? Of course, we can react on that, but we just know that there is a higher risk because we are going against the trend, okay? Pretty simple. So putting an alert on this one. Remember, I'm always using the once per bar close crossing up for the upside breakout. And then, of course, the downside, exactly the same thing. We want to see a once per bar close crossing down. So a 1 hour candle closure below this support zone before we look for downside movements. That's our very, very first confirmation, okay? That's why I'm using these kind of alerts, so you don't get all, how do I say it? Every single time the market hits your resistance, you don't get that alert every single time, okay? We are breaking some structure here on 80 NZD. This is interesting. We could say like, all right, we're gonna wait for a retest back into this zone. Perfectly possible. Not fully convinced about the structure. We are just getting out of like, yeah, how do you call it? Consolidation. Of course, you call it like that. But yeah, not really the most clean chart, not really the most clean structure. Okay. Let me first do this. I'm gonna put it on there just because I'm so curious of that breakout. Can we hold it? Can we follow up on this breakout? Can we see the market uptrending from this massive move to the upside? All right, is this because of news, or why did this push so strong? Yeah, maybe this 3:30 a.m. news. What time was this? At 3, yeah, 3:30 a.m. news pushed this one higher. I think so. There we go. So that's 80 NZD. We have a breakout. This is a little different. Now, of course, we are not using the once per bar close alert. Of course, for the support, yes, we do. Because if the market decides to go the opposite direction, we are ready. And of course, then at the resistance zone, we can simply just put a only once alert with the note retest. Okay. So there we go. That's 80 NZD. Euro AUD, pom pom pom. This is doing some good things here. We see the market like breaking, retesting all the time. So let's see if we can simply follow up on this. All right, this is the last high that created this low. Makes sense. So we can use this one as a resistance zone. If the market decides to start moving up, we can follow this if it breaks this resistance. There we go. Break resistance, and then we have this support zone right over here that is broken already, but we can simply wait for the market to give us a deeper retest. All right, what I'm going to do personally is just put a horizontal ray on these highs and then an alert. So if the market gets deeper into our zone, I know that, all right, I need to pay attention here because we are getting into my interest levels, my point of interest. Good, that's Euro AUD. Euro JPY, not sure if we had this one yesterday, but it's not looking too good, so I don't think so. So Euro Canadian, remember this one is running around these entry levels. If you would put a fib on this one, we are already around the 72, 76 area. We could go to the 88, but I'm really focused on this level at this moment. Okay, so let's see if we can really respect this retest, yes or no. Okay, then we have Euro Pound. I don't like this chart, not really the most clean structure. Euro NZD, same thing, really not really what I like to see. Euro USD is doing some nasty stuff, not really the most clean structure, so I'm also going to stay away from that. We had this one yesterday. I just used the support here and the resistance all the way at the top, but I'm going to stay away from it. I don't like it anymore. Same thing for GU. GA is showing some good structure here. If we zoom out again, what type of structure are we following? If you look from the beginning of September till now, we see that the market is creating some downtrending structure. So we prefer, of course, to follow up on that downtrending structure. And let's see if we could get a breakout to the downside. Okay. So let's first put that support alert ready. Break support. There we go. We do have the resistance, but this is a little dangerous in my opinion. All right. We do have this new structure here as resistance zones. But we have like this 4-hour breakout here. And there is a very high probability or possibility that the market will just give us that retest around this area and moves lower. All right. So if we see a breakout to the upside, I want to see the market creating at least equal highs before I would be interested or looking at upside movements. All right. Make sense? There we go. That's for GA. GCAT, also one from yesterday. I was looking for the breakout retest. I wanted to see the market giving that deeper retest. Now, what happened in the chart, how the market is moving now, I'm not fully convinced what I'm seeing here. GJ also not really what we like to see here. Oof, this was a good one. Did we had GN yesterday? I'm not sure about that one. Maybe someone can help me out from the session yesterday. Did we have GN yesterday? I'm not sure. Otherwise, I missed out on this one. We have the same, no, we didn't have this one. Okay. We have the same situation like we have on GA. So we have that downtrending structure. So we prefer, of course, that the market breaks to the downside. Now, market has a breakout to the upside here. Why do I say like, wow, we missed this one? This was a good one. Well, pretty simple. We have a breakout, but we never came back to supply levels. So what we could do is simply look at this little black candle, use it as entry opportunities, and find ourselves a take profit level around the first supply zone. All right. So this is a little different here. If you would see for GA, for example, it's almost exactly the same chart. We break out and we take out supply levels immediately, we cannot react anymore because we know this is a retest where the market could potentially or with a high probability start falling down. All right. But this didn't happen. We just got a breakout just above our resistance zone, which gives us a small counter trend opportunity. We know that this is more of a risk. And I am aware of that. But there is a very beautiful small opportunity here. And it's reacting pretty strong and pretty good, like you can see here on this little candle. All right, so let's see where we can get with this one. Just curious how it will respect the structure, if we would react on these supply zones, yes or no. All right, to be honest, the only thing I would be interested at this moment is the breakout retest from this new support zone. Okay. So that's GN, hence the Canadian don't like it. Hence the JPY was an idea from yesterday, but it's already hitting these supply levels, so already hitting my target levels. So I'm staying out of that. These are all price traps I don't like. We do have USD Canadian. Okay. I don't like it. I'm gonna stay away from that. UJ, nope. Canadian JPY, nope. Gold, what are you doing? Okay, retesting. Let's see where we can get. ADCHF was one from yesterday, and that was a good one. We had this breakout, we had this retest, came back to the very first demand zone, and now we are reacting to the upside. All right. So beautiful, beautiful example. All right. Breakout, retest, run it. Okay. Like you can see here, yeah, reacted beautifully on this first demand zone. Even if I would be looking for entries, yeah, it would be beautifully hit. Great. I like it. Love to see that. Love to get confirmation my strategy is doing great. What we could focus on right now is just use that new resistance zone. All right. We are trying to break it. We are attacking it. So let's see if it's possible to get there and get that breakout to follow up this uptrending movement from the last couple of weeks. If I want to see a change in direction, to be honest, I just want to see that low all the way to the downside. I'm going to show you. Resistance. I want to see this low getting broken because this low has created this high. All right. So for the other direction, we need to go very, very deep. Okay. So I'm just going to use that resistance zone on this one. Good. Euro CHF, don't like it. No clean structure. USD CHF, nope. Ugly. G-Chef. Massive break to the downside, back in supply levels. I don't trust it. Counter trend. NZD-CHF, yeah, of course. This one looking good, looking interesting. Let's see. We have this resistance. We broke out of that resistance. Now we got back for the retest. To be honest, I want to see the market getting a little deeper into this zone to show us a proper retest. All right. We are now first at 50.61 level already hit. I didn't expect that. But I'm really interested in that 72, 78 area here. All right. If you want to see a change in direction, of course, this is the low that created this high. So we want to focus on this last point of structure to see a change in direction here on, what is this, NZD-CHF. So let me put an alert on this one. There we go. This can be blue, and let me, could be possibly just start to run from this point, of course, all right? But I'm gonna put an alert on this one. If we get lower, I'm ready. Do you now like the CHF pairs? If I like them, that's a big word. I'm accepting them. Let me say it like that. All right. So I was backtesting my new entries. All right. There's nothing left for the price traps. But I was backtesting my new entries, my new entryway in the charts. And I just saw that the CHF pairs were acting pretty good, pretty nice, respecting my structure, respecting my entry levels, with a win ratio around 70%. So I was happy. And I was like, okay, let's just add them into my list and let's see how it will go in the upcoming months. And I gotta say, it's going pretty good. They are respecting the levels pretty nice, and we have some good opportunities over there. So yeah, I start to how do I say it? Yeah, accept them. All right. So in the past, because of the way how I reacted, for the people who follow me a long time already, they know my first way of reaction was on candlestick patterns, and that was a problem with the CHF pairs. The candlestick patterns, they didn't really show me what I like to see. All right, and that's the reason why I always said, like, CHF, I'm staying out of this. I had too much bad moments in these pairs. Okay, so good. Let's move on. We have the Forex Factory. We have around 11 a.m. some CPI on the euro coming out, and then between 3:45 and 4 p.m. we have some USD news coming in. All right, so these are the two moments in the charts where we could see some good reactions, especially the euro news and the yields here could be giving us some bigger impacts on the charts. All right, during the night, next night that's coming, nothing really is happening. All right, we do have, this is Wednesday, of course, we do have this ADP non-farm employment change, which could impact the market pretty strong. And don't forget, of course, I'm going to go to there already. We have NFP this week. All right, so this is the NFP week, the first week of the month. Normal, that's normal that the market is doing sometimes some strange things, but at this moment it's looking pretty nice. All right, we can be safely looking at the charts until 11 and then until 3:45, 4 p.m. Okay. Let me go over one more time. We have 80 Canadian beautifully in between our zones, simply waiting for the breakout. Remember, if we break to the downside, it's not that it's not a good idea. Just know that you're going against the trend, that it's possible that the market will just react on this low here and start moving up. Okay. Then we have 80 USD, also still in between the zones, waiting for the breakout. 80 NZD waiting for that retest. I'm not sure if we will get there. We will see. This is more like a backtest chart. This is more a chart where I'm curious how the market will be reacting and yeah, retesting. Then we have Euro 80 waiting for that deeper retest into this level to follow up the downside movement. Okay, Euro Canadian, like you can see, still around these entry levels. We are in the 72, 78 area. So you can choose. You can wait for some candlestick patterns. You can find yourself a buy limit. That's 100% your own decision how you are reacting on this idea. Then we have GA. Like I said, this is a little more difficult chart. If the market breaks up, we want to see equal highs at least before we want to react to the upside. All right, the more preferable move is this one over here. Okay, then we have GN. GN already did the breakout retest to the upside. We could see a retest around this level here. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. We can see a retest around these levels, okay, from the breakout to the downside to follow up the downtrending movement. That's perfectly possible. You can find yourself some entries there if you want to. But I prefer this breakout retest to the downside to just follow up the downtrending movement. For gold, exactly the same thing. We broke to the downside. We are here around 2,650 and 2,658, something like that. Are the zones or are the levels I'm looking for to see the market moving down again. Okay, so to follow up that downtrending structure, to follow up the break of the lows. AUD-CHF, like you know, we had that breakout retest from yesterday. Now we are trying to break to the upside. So let's see if we can get a proper retest here. Remember, the last low of the structure is right over here. So this low needs to get broken if you want to see the market creating downtrending movement. Okay. NZD-CHF, also looking for a deeper retest here, or the breakout retest of that resistance zone. I'm going to put just a line on this one, just a horizontal line on this one, so you know that I'm also looking, if the market breaks to the upside, that we have the breakout retest here of that high. Okay. The new entry levels is different, completely different than we were doing it in the last couple of years. The RSI is still on my chart. I'm not really using it. I'm more focused on the real price of the market. So candles, FIP levels, imbalance zones, these kind of stuff, or in my entry way. I'm almost done. I'm really like putting on the last points on the strategy, putting on the last confirmations of the strategy, the last things, and that I'm able to share it. I'm not sure how I will do it, how I will share it. That these are the things I'm thinking about right now. Okay, making the good educational sessions where you can learn about this entry. Okay, so good. This is for today's price traps. Let me check what the crypto is doing. I did something. No, I messed it up. Oh, okay, there we go. Main crypto, let's check. Okay, I see some green numbers. All right, there we go. Look at that. We didn't get a retest. what I was looking for yesterday, but we did get the drop, okay, to this demand level. Let me get back to the 4 hour, the daily. All right, there we go. So we had this demand level on the daily time frame, also the 4 hour, of course. It was more like a 4 hour retest of this breakout, and I was very interested to see the market reacting on this. Do we get a reaction? Does the market creates a higher low? Yes or no? And at this moment, the market did. Okay. Now we need to pay attention to some different zones here. Let me first. What are these black lines? Ah, okay. These are my black lines. So let me first just delete this. Okay, to make sure we have some clean charts. Okay, so we have two things we need to pay attention at right now. Okay, we have this little candle over here that could act as a supply zone to push the market lower and start breaking structure, to start creating downtrending movements, or we have this supply level over here. Okay, these are the two supply levels that I would be looking at for the upcoming days. Okay, will we respect this and move lower, or will this be the moment that we create a higher low and start moving higher into the daily supply levels from this downtrending structure here? Okay, it's looking pretty good. We are reacting pretty good on the supply level. Now we are trying to break that structure. So let's see. This is just a follow-up day by day. We are at some very interesting moments in the charts now. We are at a high in the daily time frame, and that's always very interesting. Do we respect it or do we break it? Okay, so now it's waiting game. We are respecting the demand zone, but we need to break these supplies to really confirm this upside movement. Okay, for Ethereum, exactly the same thing. Of course, we had this. It did exactly what I was looking for, but we had the reaction of this daily supply zone. And now we broke that high and we got the retest. Okay, this is now the 1 hour time frame, but the 4 hour is almost exactly the same thing. But this is what I did yesterday. I told you we could go to this demand level. You see the circle is still here, and we respected that demand level pretty strong. Okay, so now it's again same thing like Bitcoin. Do we break above this one? Let me go to the 4 hour to have some more clean ways. It's only one zone in this one, in this example. You could also look at this one here, this last bull candle before the drop. So these are some interesting zones to see the market, or to see how the market will be reacting here. Okay, will we respect supplies and break structure to create downtrending movements, or do we break and start moving higher again? And just follow up on the lower time frame uptrend. Okay, it's a lower time frame uptrend, guys and girls. So this doesn't mean a lot. All right, we want to see the daily creating some uptrending structure before we really get interested to get a longer term bull run again. Okay, and that will be it. This is the price traps and the review of the crypto for today. So we have 8 price traps, more than enough. Okay, so let's see what will happen. Remember, it's NFP week, first week of the month, can act a little different. We also had a monthly close on the charts, so we can see the market act a little different here for this week. All right, but let's see where we will get with our retests and price traps. Okay, that will be it. I'm gonna leave it with that. I hope you guys enjoyed the session. Hope you guys had some value. Of course, I'm gonna share the recording on my YouTube channel, the pairs into my Telegram channel, and of course, also the Discord community is getting my links, so my charts, into the server. Okay, so thank you all for being here. I wish you all a beautiful, beautiful day, and we see each other back tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. for a brand new price trap session. Ciao, ciao.